get the ball. Curry's on him. Here comes the double team. Leonard trying to split. Almost travel. Van Vliet throws it up. Oh, he puts it in! A rainbow from Van Vliet.
Those Raptors, 2 wins from dethroning the champs and 2 wins from bringing the NBA's first ever title to Toronto. Hi, everybody. Welcome on into the Late Show. Jared Greenberg with you. 40-ish minutes or so breaking down what we saw and looking ahead, discussing what you're going to be talking about tomorrow, including the 5 things you need to know from Game 3 of the NBA Finals. The Raptors take advantage of the shorthanded Warriors, taking a 2-1 series lead. Steph was sensational and maybe beyond sensational. Most points he has ever scored in an NBA Finals game. 8th most points ever scored by anyone in an NBA Finals game. Most points he has ever scored in a playoff game, period. Klay Thompson's streak of 120 consecutive playoff games has been snapped. No Klay, no KD, no Looney, and you better believe it was a problem for the Golden State Warriors. Let it fly. That was the Raptors' mantra after having made a total of 24 threes over the first 2 games Wednesday. The Raps drilled 17 from downtown. Dubs unable to pull off their signature third quarter. In fact, Toronto flipped the script, outscoring the Warriors 36-31 in the third. So with the Dubs down 2-1, all the attention turns to Friday. And will they get back Klay? Will KD be available? With some of those early answers, here's Allie LaForce outside the Warriors locker room.
The mood in this Warriors locker room, despite never being in control of this game, was not discouraged. And they certainly are not using injuries as an excuse in any way. Sean Livingston said, Toronto made big shots and we missed a lot of shots. And it's a make or miss league, and sometimes it's just that simple. But we do need to do a better job of helping Steph. And we heard that repeatedly over and over from all of the teammates taking responsibility to take some of the pressure off of Steph. Andrew Bogut told me, he said, one of the things we talked about as a team was when guys are open and have open opportunities, they have to take those shots to get the pressure off of Steph defensively. DeMarcus Cousins also took full responsibility and said, as teammates, we need to be better. I did ask DeMarcus, I said, have you said anything to Kevin Durant? Have you said anything to Klay Thompson, just knowing emotionally and physically what they're going through, being close to coming back? And he said, no. He said, they want to be out there more than I do, more than any of this team does. So I don't believe there's anything that needs to be said to them. Coach Kerr did say that Klay did really well over the last couple of days, and he's hopeful that he will return for Game 4, although that has not yet been confirmed. And in terms of Kevin Durant, there were reports that he was going to scrimmage tomorrow. Well, the Warriors confirmed that they're not aware of that. The team is having practice here at Oracle Arena, and it's a get what you need day to come in and just whatever work you personally need to do, get that in. But no confirmation that Kevin will be scrimmaging tomorrow, although Coach Kerr said it is his next step.
That is some great perspective down from Allie LaForce outside the locker room. NBA champion Brendan Haywood, Jared Greenberg on the Late Show. We've got a lot to get into. Everything from how much the referees were part of the conversation to Kyle Lowry being pushed by a fan when he crashed into the sidelines. But it's hard to say, Brendan, that there was a storyline bigger in Game 3 than the absence of Klay Thompson. But what was more significant, Klay Thompson's offense or Klay Thompson's defense not being available?
Well, I think you have to look at the fact that it was his defense. And when you look at this team, they were still able to score 109. You talk about the Golden State Warriors. They've scored 109 in every single game in these finals, which is actually very interesting. But you look at his defense and what he gives you as far as another body you can throw in Kawhi, somebody that's able to guard multiple players, switch screen and roll. And then you know he's one of the best that we have at being a lockdown defender on the perimeter. So when you look at what happened tonight with Golden State giving up 123 points, they definitely missed Klay's defense. They missed his offense as well, because sometimes hitting shots, sometimes your offense can be your best defense, but the defense was definitely missed.
The Warriors have been down 2-1 before. In fact, they've been down 2-1 in the NBA Finals and have been able to come back to win. That was against the year that you played for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I don't mean to rub that into you.
Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah,
thank you for reminding me. I went out as a loser my last year. Thank you.
Maybe if David Blatt would have thrown you in there, it would have been a different story. but the Warriors have done this before. However, they've never had to do it without Klay Thompson, and certainly it's been a different circumstance since Kevin Durant's been back in the mix. So we keep on checking in on this very same question. I'll ask it again here after 3 games of this series. Do the Warriors need Klay and or Kevin Durant to be able to beat this Raptor team?
Do they need Klay Thompson? Yes, without a doubt. If they had Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant, I think this would be a totally different series, and we would view it differently, and we would see Golden State play totally differently. But KD's been out for a while, and we know this team is able to win without KD. KD is the biggest luxury in sports. They don't need him, but they're better with him. So KD being out is something they kind of got used to, but the fact that it's KD and Clay, that really throws off what Golden State wants to do. This team thrives offensively because they're used to playing with maximum spacing. They have 3 of the best shooters in league history, and they stretch you out all around the court from sideline to sideline with excellent ball movement, and then you have to try to catch up to where the ball is. Well, when you don't have KD, when you don't have Clay, it becomes a lot easier to guard them. They're not able to have those, as a team, you don't get those huge offensive nights. 109 is pretty good, but you don't get those huge spike nights that you normally see from the Golden State Warriors.
Well, let's talk more about that offense. And early on in the game, I started getting flashbacks to the 2018 NBA Finals, the Game 1, when LeBron James was doing everything, carrying the Cleveland Cavaliers. And if it wasn't for a George Hill-less free throw and the mishap by J.R. Smith, we might be talking about one of the greatest single-game performances we'd ever seen in the NBA Finals. And Steph certainly was shy of that tonight, and the Warriors did lose the game. But what he did tonight, putting the team on his back, with everybody in the building knowing that he was going to be the lone source of offense for Golden State, what'd you think of how he did tonight?
I love how Steph played tonight. And Steph came up big. We know he's one of the best in the game. He just came out from the jump super aggressive, and he was not going to be denied. He understands the moment. No Klay Thompson, no Kevin Durant. I have to step my game up. I have to be great, not good. I have to be great Steph Curry if we're even going to have a chance to win. We saw Steph drop 47 tonight, and they still really weren't in this game. It was double digits for large parts of the ball game. So Steph understood the time, he understood the moment, and I was glad that he was able to come out here, play on this stage and play this great, because a lot of people questioned Steph in the finals.
Who might those people be?
I have no idea.
Haywood?
I have no idea.
What was this? I was waiting, if the Warriors had won this game, to come on and say to you, well, this is now his finals moment that doubters and critics like you have been looking for.
Whoa, what do you mean like me? I've never come on air and said anything like that.
Tell people what you have said.
Whoa. Listen here. What happens on radio stays between us, okay? We don't bring because we do a radio show together doesn't mean that we bring that on the TV.
Well, we could. Now people are wondering what you said. And the point of it was you wanted Steph to raise his game and have those moments like some of the all-time greats have had. And while Steph has had good and really great moments throughout the playoffs and in the finals, the reason why he doesn't have a finals MVP is because he's lacking that signature moment.
Yeah, and I did say that, and that's something I did really want to see is we've seen a lot of other great players, whether we're talking about Wade, LeBron, Durant, Dirk, whoever, Kobe, MJ. We've seen those guys get into the finals and just have these incredible moments that we all remember that we'll never forget. Steph hadn't had that moment yet. Tonight felt like his night where he was going to go into the finals and just carry a team by himself. And we talk about how Steph did it solo and there was nobody else. He was by himself. He went toe-to-toe with Toronto and he won. But Toronto was game. And they never let any of the Steph Curry daggers take them out of what they wanted to do. They never looked worried. They never looked flustered. A lot of times when Steph starts hitting those deep threes and everybody in Oracle starts going crazy, when Oracle turns into Oracle, you see teams get a little punch drunk. You see them get a little shy offensively. That never happened in Toronto. Every time Steph would hit a shot, you would see somebody from Toronto hit a big shot. It wouldn't matter if it was Van Vliet, if it was Kawhi, if it was UNC legend Danny Green. Everybody found a way to hit shots tonight.
Put money in the bucket over there on the side. You owe us money now.
Why?
Because that's the rule. You say UNC legend, you got to pay us money.
Danny Green played like a legend tonight.
By the way, we will get to the Raptors side of things here, but you mentioned it being Roracle. The building, the crowd, they needed Steph tonight.
Right.
It was a little flat here to begin. Let's call a spade a spade. This building was not its typical Roracle tonight until Steph Curry got going.
I think they were a little bit worried. I think normally when you come out there and you see Durant, you see Clay, everybody's jumping up and down and they understand what's going to happen. The fans tonight seemed like they were kind of a little hesitant, like, well, we hope we can win. Normally they believe, they know they can win. Now it's like, we hope we can win. They were a little bit sheepish to start the game off. Then Steph got it going, and then they were able to really get behind him and just take on that energy this building always has.
Well, if the fans are nervous, the players don't seem to be. The confidence factor is not wavering. Let's go back to what might be the quote of the night at the podium. You heard it live here earlier on NBA TV's post-game coverage. Draymond Green laying out the plan to success for how the Warriors are going to bounce back after this Game 3 loss and simply take care of business.
Everybody wants to see us lose. So I'm sure people are happy they're hurt. We just got to continue to battle and win the next game, go back to Toronto, win Game 5, come back to Oracle, win Game 6, and then celebrate. Fun times ahead.
That's
confidence.
Right. But isn't that something that a three-time champion is allowed to say? Like, if he hadn't had 3 rings, he probably is not sitting up there saying that.
Well, yeah, he's definitely allowed to say that because that's the type of confidence you have to have when you're in the finals. And Klay Thompson and Draymond Green is absolutely right.
Right.
Everybody wants to see the Golden State Warriors win. They are tired of the success. They want to see a new champion. They want to see Kawhi get a title. He feels that. He understands that. And there are some people that are basically saying, hey, Golden State's hurt, but they've been able to win championships when other teams are hurt. It's their time. Well, let's see what they can do. Draymond Green is correct. He's accurate. He senses the pulse of where the fan base is right now. Most NBA fans, if you're not a Golden State Warriors fan, would rather see the Toronto Raptors win.
Well, yeah, a poll conducted right before the start of the NBA Finals by a website said that all but 3 U.S. states, those people were rooting for the Raptors to win. And obviously all of Canada is rooting for the Raptors to win. So kind of like the